We start today here at noon with an ongoing rescue effort after a bridge collapse in Baltimore. About 11 hours ago, a ship without power hit a bridge, sending it into the cold water below. Cars and workers on the bridge were sent tumbling into the water. So far, 2 people have been pulled out. In the last hour, we've heard from President Biden at the White House on the accident.
Everything so far indicates that this was a terrible accident. At this time, we have no other indication, no other reason to believe there's any intentional act here.
Thank you for joining us here at noon. I'm Angela McCall. The president vowing this afternoon that the country will stand by Baltimore and pledging that federal dollars will pay for the bridge to be rebuilt. The city's port is the 8th largest port, including about $80 billion worth of cargo going through it last year. This video is from this morning and shows ships starting to back up at the port there. NBC's Ryan Nobles has more from the Francis Scott Key Bridge.
The search and rescue efforts continue here at the site of the bridge collapse in Baltimore, Maryland. The Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed after a container ship, a 1,000-foot container ship, collided with the base of the bridge, collapsing the bridge in just a matter of seconds. And since that moment at 1:30 in the morning, rescue crews have been frantically searching for a group of construction workers that fell into the water as the bridge collapsed. At this point, rescue workers believe that they are searching for 6 people. They did rescue 2 people from the icy waters. One of them sent to the hospital. The other is okay. At this point, the investigators believe that this was a terrible accident, that something went wrong with the container ship, and they say that the crew on board the ship actually signaled back to the shore that they were having a problem, and that allowed them to stop vehicular traffic over the bridge. And they believe at this point that there are no cars or vehicles of any kind that actually fell into the water, and that meaning that there aren't survivors trapped in cars underneath the river water. Now, this was an extensive search and rescue effort. It brought in aircraft, helicopters, airplanes, boats, dive teams, and also sonar equipment to search for survivors under the water. And officials are insistent that they are focused completely on that effort before they even begin the talk of rebuilding, which will be an extensive process and something very important to this region. This bridge saw more than 35,000 vehicles cross over it on any given day. It is a main traffic artery in the Baltimore region. It is one this community is now without as they begin the process of mourning the victims and also the slow recovery and rebuilding process.
Pretty astounding video there. That was NBC's Ryan Nobles reporting. We'll continue to follow this and bring you the latest this afternoon starting at 4. The trial for a truck driver accused of killing a family of 5 on I-25 in Weld County should wrap up soon with closing arguments. Jesus Puebla slammed his truck into a stopped car on I-25 at 70 miles an hour back in June of 2022. Puebla's lawyers say the trucking company supplied him with a faulty truck. And if anyone should be held responsible, it's the trucking company. Puebla is charged with 5 counts of vehicular homicide. We have a crew in the courtroom and we'll bring you the latest later today. And new at noon, Arapahoe County is sharing pictures after a suspected drunk driver hit a deputy. The sheriff's office says the driver hit the deputy's cruiser Saturday morning near Smoky Hill Road and Liverpool. The deputy was on his way to work. Even though he was hurt, he was able to crawl out of his truck. The driver was booked and faces several charges. The deputy thankfully suffered no serious injuries. And taking a live look around the state right now, today is much different than this time yesterday, and it will be warmer this afternoon. Chris, I feel like every single time I talk to you, it's a very different forecast. Sunday I saw you, very wintry, very cold, very snowy, and today it's not so bad.
Yeah, you were outside in the elements on Sunday night. I was slightly jealous, to be honest, because as a meteorologist, one of my favorite things is being out in the snow. But in the meantime, you mentioned it here, Angela. There's no doubt about it that we've had some of those big changes. And now, if you like warm weather and sunny weather, you're in for the good kind of changes as we head over the next couple of days. That said, we do have a few snow showers to talk about this afternoon, and we're already starting to see some of those develop for us, mainly in the high country, but some of those will try and push the way down into the I-25 corridor. So there's a look at those headlines. It warms up and it gets calmer later on through the week, but we do have some snow showers right now bubbling on up here into the higher terrain for us, and this would be really for us in the Elk Mountains on down into the northern San Juans, where we are seeing some of that snowfall on up by kind of Grand Mesa, Battlement Mesa, seeing some of that snow out there as well. For our northern Front Range mountains, maybe a few flakes for us, but this is kind of the push of energy that could lead to a few snow showers for us in the Denver area as we head later on through the afternoon. So, mountains, we get some snow showers. One or two of these are going to try and push their way down to the Denver area. The better chance for seeing one of these snow showers move their way down into the metro area is going to be in the Palmer Divide. So that'd be Castle Rock, Douglas County, southern Jeffco. That's where you have the best chance at seeing a snow shower this afternoon, but we might see one here in Denver. Now, if we did see a snow shower here in Denver, we're not talking about any little, if any, accumulation, just because those temperatures are going to be mainly above freezing. So that means those roads should stay mainly wet, maybe a little bit of slush on some car tops. That would be pretty much all we see out of that. Temperatures, the other big story right now, we're in the 30s for us here in Denver. We dropped down to the teens this morning, but we're going to start to warm back up a little bit today. This is not exactly tropical weather yet, but we're in the mid 40s for us for today. Tomorrow, it gets even warmer, and then gets even warmer, and then it gets even warmer. I'll have those details for you coming up in my full forecast.
Right now, Thornton police are still looking for a truck that hit a pedestrian. It was one of two incidents like this in the Denver metro area over the span of just 24 hours. The first one happened in Thornton Sunday morning, the other in Arapahoe County yesterday. Fatal auto pedestrian crashes have risen dramatically over the last 4 years. So far in 2024, they've accounted for nearly a quarter of all traffic deaths. That is leading the Colorado Department of Transportation to urge both motorists and pedestrians to be more careful.
We at CDOT and other cities and towns are trying to improve our roadways. We're trying to put in more crosswalks. We're trying to put in better lighting. But until then, we just need both drivers to step up and be safe. And we also need pedestrians to be more aware.
In the Thornton case, police are looking for a gray car with front end damage. Commerce City police say they have found the truck they first believed was involved in a deadly shooting at a house party early Sunday morning. Now they say the people in that truck are not considered suspects. It happened a little before 2 Sunday morning at a home off of East 69th Place near Rocky Mountain Arsenal. One man died and 2 others are hurt. Police believe the shooting started after dozens of people showed up to the party. If you know anything, you're asked to call Commerce City Police. Today, the U.S. Supreme Court heard from both sides of the abortion drug mifepristone. In the oral argument, the court seemed concerned about whether abortion opponents have the right to sue over a medication that was used in nearly 2/3 of all abortions in the country. This is the court's first abortion case since overturning Roe v. Wade 2 years ago. The justice's comments so far suggest that the court could leave the current rules in place that include allowing patients to receive the drug through the mail. Their decision is expected by early summer.